Hey guys, it's Quickie Baby, and I'm showing you a replay in the 75, which could quite possibly be one of my greatest games of all time. It's a series of fortunate events, I think is the best way to describe this replay. But I think it really shows just how powerful the E75 is when it can get in a matchup like this. And let's not beat around the bush here, so to say, we are in a very good matchup for this very strong German tier 9 heavy tank. We can see that there are only 2 tier 9 tanks on the enemy team, and they don't have any artillery, so this really is a beautiful matchup for the E75, and Runeberg possibly has to be one of the greatest maps for this tank. Now, I was having an absolutely awful day. I was live streaming and I was getting beaten badly, and I was making bad plays and making bad shots, and I think this would have been the end of me if this game hadn't gone as well as it did. So, what I'm thinking right now is, alright, I really need to get into position. I've seen that the T-30 has gone into the field, so it's very unlikely that anything apart from the T-30 and the E-75 are really able to challenge me. So knowing that the E-75 is down that alleyway, I wanted to be very aggressive to start pressuring the enemy tanks while I know that the E-75 is not in a position to try and take me out. We can see the enemies basically trying to shoot at the lower plate of the E-75, not working at all. We've got both of these tier 8 tanks on the retreat, and there's another tier 8 tank came in to try and put a shell into me that didn't go in. We roll for 485 there, which is just below the average roll on the E75. Now I'm going to withdraw a bit. I'm keeping my armor angled as well as I can. And as we can see, the town is basically a huge line. It's me and an IS-3 holding down this flank, while all the rest of our heavy tanks are behind. I really am not afraid of these enemy tanks, and that's the beauty of the E75. The fact that your frontal armor is so good that unless they aim at weak points, they're not really going to be able to penetrate you reliably. So the FCM thought he was okay there. We were able to cleanly shoot underneath the T-32 and take a large chunk out of his tank. No idea what that scout is doing, but you know, I'll take the free kills if they are given to me. So just looking at the situation, wow, there's a lot of tanks trying to fight down the middle. I know that the FCM probably just went round from his movements, and so I go after the FCM. Surprise! Remember me? Okay, so I ram him. I do take 49 damage there. You could argue that I shouldn't have gone for the ram kill, as I did take 49 damage, only doing 24 to him. So the IS fires at my track. I'm trying to show you the correct angling technique in the E75. Of course, we don't really need to angle when the IS comes this close. We can just snipe into his cupolas. I angle my tank, trying to make it awkward for him. He shoots my gun, and I mean, this has to be demoralizing for the IS. His friend's coming in to back him up, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, I don't need to kill you right now, Mr. IS. I can go for this T-34-3. And that has to be demoralizing for somebody. If you're engaging in close quarters combat with an enemy tank, and he thinks that you're he thinks that you are so little of a threat that he will stop shooting at you and kill your friends and then re-engage on you, that has to be demoralizing. And hell, I'm feeling great this game so far. I'm on 5 kills, 4,700 damage. I decide to repair my gun because I might need it to start sniping in at this IS-3. Come round and put one into him, then angle my tank, thinking I was going to need to go into a hold down location. But the IS-3 backs me up and confirms the kill. So now I want to just keep the aggression going. I want to kill the danger, the E-75. He's one of the dangerous tanks. We aim for his lower plate. It bounces, so I decide to load an APCR round. Now the APCR rounds in the E-75 do have a hell of a lot of penetration, 311 to be exact. The regular rounds have only got 246. Well, you say only 246. 246 is enough, but sometimes you just have to be sure to go through the front of tanks and secure the situation. That's what I wanted to do there. Load an APCR round to confirm the kill on the low health E75, and then load our regular AP rounds again. So we take out the IS-3 cleanly. And then right now I've got to be happy. I think, wow, okay, a T-29 in front of me, he's got very little chance as long as I angle my tank well to really take me out. The shell goes a little low there and we bounce off his cupola. This game is pretty tense. It's me and 2 friendly tanks versus 5 of the enemy, including a dangerous T-30. So I've loaded an APCR round now. Cleanly going through the front of the T-49. Sorry, not the front. What are you talking about? The cupola on the T-29. I'm just looking at the map because I'm trying to tell you what I think's going on. Alright, so I knew at this point that I really had to hurry up. There's a 112 quickly coming on my flank. There's a 1948 who's fighting against an ISU-152. I'm hoping that the ISU-152 should be able to handle that 1948, as the 1948 will have to shoot him 3 times, and he only has to penetrate him once. The T-44 was last spotted here, and the T-30 was last spotted over here. So, what I don't want to do is try and side scrape around this corner here, because the T-30 should be able to shoot me from above if he's still there. We don't know where the T-44 is, we can't account for him. All I need to do is take out this T-29 quickly, and then re-engage on this 112. Bit of a waste of a premium round there on that T-29. But right now my brain was kind of going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I thought the decision of what shells I'm going to use is not really important. So I kind of gave that 112 my tracks. Oh dear. So what I did there is I reversed to stop the T-49 from getting behind me. Now you know that the side and the rear armor on the E75 is great, so I'm not going to turn my frontal armor to him. I'm going to get out of that situation where I'm being flanked by the 112 and use my fantastic side and rear armor to put pressure on the T-44. So we get the kill and we spot the T-30. Okay. Brilliant. So I'm trying to get distance from the 1948 and the 112. The 1948 managed to kill the whole of that ISU-152. So I let the T-30 come forward so I have a shot in his side. That's very important there. I'm just going to highlight that again. So, in a close-up fight, I don't quite have the gun depression to aim down on his hull. So unless I want to shoot his cheeks or try and go for his cupola, it's quite awkward. What I did is I held him in position until I was about to reload, and then I dropped my tracks to the side, I fell back, and then he foolishly kept pushing forwards, which allowed me to get a clean shot into his side. You can use that technique if someone's just trying to bump into you a lot to be able to get shots, which will be able to penetrate. So wow, 10 kills, 7,200 damage. Okay, my heart was really going for it actually here. I was thinking, okay, this 112, he's not a slouch, he's a good player. And the 1948, although statistically he doesn't look strong, he has picked up 5 kills, so he must be doing something right. So I want to get down alleyways where I feel that I can't be engaged from multiple angles. I know that's a bit tricky, but I really want to get the jump on the enemy. So what I decided to do is to go far to the west. I wanted to go over there, but of course I'm going to look down here in case something appears, and oh, it did appear. And that's unfortunate for me, because now they know where I am, the 1948 can just come out. So I'm just going to pause and take third person here. So what I'm doing, and what I'm thinking, is the 1948 has spotted me. Okay, he's going to try and avoid all contact. And now, when you're in a situation where you're 1 versus 2, you cannot afford to delay the game. If you delay the game, then the enemies can try and get behind you and in front of you. And if that happens, because of the traverse speed of the E75 on the turret, they'll be able to just take it in turns to poke shots into you 1 by 1. So, what I've decided to do is make it look like I'm going aggressively down here. Now watch, as soon as the 1948 stops spotting me, I turn the tank. So for all he thinks, he saw me going down here very quickly. So as soon as he's unspotted, I know I'm unspotted as well. So I turned the tank around as to hopefully confuse him and get the jump on him. So I kind of bluffed him there. He must have thought that I was going down the other way and he wanted to go forwards to try and get a shot on the behind of my tank. We kind of outthought him there. Alternatively, he might not have really known what he was doing, and we just got lucky with his position. But the thought process was there. I was trying to trick him into thinking which way I was going, and then turn around and try and get the jump on him. And so now, we know that that 112 from earlier has got very low health. It's just a case of being careful, finding out where he is, and trying to wear him down with some side scraping. And there he is. Great, we proxy spotted him. I don't have my repair pack, so if he was managed to hit our track, we could be in a bit of trouble. I'm just trying to get him to make a mistake and to fire at a well-angled surface of my tank. And I know that if he fires, as long as he doesn't hit my track, I should be okay. So he fired. He missed. And here we go. Absolutely lovely. That was our 12th kill. That was the most kills I've ever got in a game. Before this game, my best had been 10. I was absolutely thrilled to pick up the 12th. This was a great opportunity for me. Everything was really stacked towards the E75 winning. The matchup, there were only 2 tier 9 tanks either side. The map, the fact that there was no artillery, the fact that my team had poor players and the enemy team had mostly poor players as well. Everything was lined up to have a big round here. So anyway, let's just take a look at some post-game stats. So here we are. We can see that we're able to make 115,000 credits for this game, and we got 5,564 experience for our double. Of course, we got the Pools medal for our 12 kills, and the Steel Wall and the Sniper medal. We can see just how many of the enemy tanks that we hit. Quite a few of them we did kill with 1 hit. In fact, there are 6 tanks that we managed to kill with only 1 hit done to them. But when you've got 490 alpha damage like you do in the E75, that's quite a large chunk of a tier 7 or a tier 8 tank. So as we were fighting really close range fights, it would have been bad if we'd really missed any of our shots. We did hit 23 out of 23, and of those, 21 penetrated the target, giving us 7,735 damage. We took 23 hits that game, giving us a potential damage received of 7,580, and we did have enough health at the end to still take a shot or 2. Apart from the 12 enemies that we destroyed, we did damage 1 of the other enemy tanks. We only detected 1, but we really weren't playing the scout in that game. This was a huge round for me. It was the highest ever experience I got in an E75 with 1,855 base experience. Picking up those 12 kills was simply awesome for me. Although, as I said before, it was very fortunate. This is one of those dream games, you know, that only ever happen maybe once in 1,000 or a few thousand games. What I think it really does show, however, is just how strong the E75 in these kind of situations. E75's armor is just simply incredible, and unless the enemies are willing to fire premium rounds at you, or they do catch your weak points, because frankly you've been too stationary, then your armor is more than enough to really take out any tier 8 or 7 tank in the game. And most of the tier 9s will struggle still to do heavy damage to you. The fact that the E75's gun is so punchy, it really is just a wonderful tank, and I can't recommend it enough. I have done a full quick tank review on the E75, so if you're interested, it's definitely worth a look. And there are loads of other replays of the E75 on this channel. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, please consider rating it down below. It'd be really helpful to me. And let me know what you think about the E75 in the comments down below. Anyway guys, I thought this might be entertaining and maybe you could catch some of the thought process that was going through me and how I played out this game and why I did what I did. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic and hopefully I'll see you soon.